Hi everyone, this is Josh. I want to take a look at a game between me and my good friend Ian, who's under the name King's Gambit. So we start off with e4, e5, and I thought, why not play the King's Gambit against King's Gambit? Ian knows these lines, I think, better than I do, but I recall playing the French defense that I feel pretty comfortable playing the advanced French with the black pieces, but don't really feel comfortable playing it with the white pieces. I thought maybe Ian might feel the same way, that he's certainly a master at playing the King's Gambit with the white pieces, but how often does he have to face it with the black pieces? Well, he knows a few lines. I hadn't seen this idea before, this bishop e7 to h5 move, forcing my king to go to f1, because if I try to block with this pawn, he can capture with his pawn, takes with check. My king has to move out of the way anyway, and I've lost a pawn in the process. So we play this king f1. I don't really want to take the bishop with the knight because that invites his queen in, and then we see the same thing happen again, that I lose a pawn and my king has to move anyway. We continue with some development. I go after this pawn, and Ian ignores the threat and works on his own development and his own threats. I capture the pawn. Black gets the knight out, and I don't understand this move a whole lot. I think maybe the fear was that there was some trick to kick this bishop out of the way, and then I can pick up this bishop once the pin is broken. So I think that might have been the idea behind moving the knight here. Either that, or also queen f6 might be an idea. Hits this bishop, and if the bishop moves, then the queen is also hitting the knight. Unfortunately, I don't get to see what the plan was after ducking the knight out of the way, because I immediately strike at this bishop. We get a check, and then from this position we get what's probably the best move I've ever made in a chess game. So see if you can go ahead and pause the video. See if you can spot this this brilliant, well, according to me, a brilliant move in this chess game. The game of the game, the move of the game, in my opinion. Okay, I spent, we have 7 days to find it. I spent probably 30 minutes to an hour each day for 3 days looking at this position, because I could sense white had some winning killer move. And I kind of tunnel visioned on a bishop f7 sack. I thought bishop f7, king takes f7, knight checks. Okay, maybe I lose the knight, but maybe this queen gets out with a check, and then I pick up this bishop in return. But it never quite seemed to work in white's favor. But by the third day, I was ready to try anything and thinking about all sorts of silly moves like a4. And wouldn't you know it, knight g1 is the winning move in this position, because this poor bishop has no squares. The king has these squares covered, the queen has this square covered, pawn has this square covered, and if the bishop retreats to e6, there's d5, which removes the final square from the bishop. So Ian sees this and plays the strongest move, knight b6, which actually I missed. When I played knight g1, I didn't see this knight b6 idea. I thought I was winning the bishop for free. But after this knight b6 move, I realized I have to sacrifice this bishop and gain a pawn in the process, pull the king out, and play this check. So kudos to Ian for spotting the strongest defense. Unfortunately, the computer gives this as about a +2 for white in this position. And I must say, like, for as messy as this position is, like, we have 3 minor pieces on the board. We've got the kings in awkward positions. I think this is one of the cleanest games that I've played, for as messy as the position is. We get this knight retreat. I'm not sure what the plan was with this knight retreat. I don't know, but he plays this knight retreat, which lets me play e5 with the threat of this fork. So we get a trade, and then the knight. We get a check. The king ducks out of the way. I think I kind of liked this check for black because I was thinking about maybe in some lines the queen goes to f1, then out to c4 and attacks along this diagonal. But now that he's forced my king over to g2, the queen no longer has access to this square. So this poor knight, he's been getting bullied around. If you remember from the beginning, the knight has been, he went to here, to here, to here, back again, and back again. So this knight's getting a lot of exercise this game. Okay, just getting a rook to an open file, hitting a queen, gaining a tempo. Queen ducks out of the way, and we have a knight e4. When I played this move, I thought it was a strong move, and the computer says this forces the win of a piece with perfect play, which like I said, when I made the move, I thought it was a strong move, but I wasn't sure if I was immediately winning a piece. And I think this h4 move, or h5 rather, I think this is desperation, that Ian really wants to get some counterattack, some tricks of his own, because unfortunately his pieces are all kind of boxed over here. While my king is cozy, his king is kind of vulnerable. I've got a check here, I can have a bishop here to hit the queen. I'm threatening a check with this pawn. Maybe the rook can someday get down here onto this file. So I think he plays his h5 in a desperate attempt to get some counterplay. Unfortunately, it's a bit too little too late. We get the bishop hits the queen. The queen is now on the only square which defends this bishop, and I keep the pressure on. Now I'm threatening to move the knight out of the way to hit the queen. And at this point, I capture the knight, and the computer says this is a free piece. And I wonder, again, pause the video and see if you can spot why or what happens if black recaptures this knight. Okay, black recaptures the knight, so we actually get to see what happens. We get queen to e6 check. The king steps up. I think king over, like, it also loses, but it requires a little bit more thought on my part. I actually forget how to win if king f8 is played. I want to say, well, we can look at it with the computer in a moment. He plays king g7, but it doesn't matter. Either move leads to mate. And here we get queen f6, king h7, and then finally queen f7 is checkmate. So that's the game. Let me know what you thought about it. Let's go over it again with the we'll go ahead and refresh the page. Go over it again with analysis.